Hi, it's Ivan from the EV Stock channel here, and today we'll be looking at sales, revenue and profit estimates for the Cybertruck, so let's get straight into it. As always, all content in this video is our opinion only, and we do not recommend buying or selling any financial instruments. So first things first, here are the results from the poll I did, asking you guys to let me know what your thoughts on the Cybertruck were. And to be honest, I am super surprised that the vast majority of people loved the Cybertruck, as most commentary out there was saying that the truck was really polarizing and that half the people loved it and half the people hated it. And that's what I thought initially. But based on our small poll of just over 300 people, we are seeing that 86% of the people either liked it or loved it. So in my opinion, this is a sign that the demand for the Cybertruck could be higher than most people think. Also, thank you to all the people that responded to the poll. It's great that we can get some actual numbers. And yes, it would have been easier to do a straw poll, but I wanted to read every single response and get an understanding of what your guys' thoughts were. And that actually got me thinking. The biggest thing that people didn't like about the Cybertruck was the shape when looking at it from directly behind. However, consider this. Look at the Model S prototype. Compared to the current Model S, there is a massive improvement in design. Again, look at the Model X prototype versus the current version. It's not even close. And interestingly, here's something else to consider. Have a listen to this interview that Elon did back in 2014 when talking about the Model X prototype.
You know, with the X, we're really trying to make an amazing car, and very importantly, to have a car that, with a production version, is better than the prototype, better than the show car. What surprised me crazy about the car industry is like you'll see often these great show cars, and then when you actually get the production car, it's some bizarre, dumbed-down facsimile of the exciting prototype that was displayed. That's terrible. The baseline expectation of Tesla is that whenever we have a prototype, the production car is better in every way.
So there you have it. Don't be surprised if Tesla makes some sort of modification to the Cybertruck to make it even better. Now, in order to make our sales estimates, let's first break down the numbers that Elon gave us, in which he stated that in a time frame of 36 hours, 146,000 Cybertrucks have been reserved, with 42% choosing the dual motor, 41% choosing the tri-motor, and 17% choosing the single motor. So if Tesla can simply sell the 146,000 Cybertrucks that have been reserved in the first 36 hours, this is how much revenue they'll bring in. 24,820 single motor Cybertrucks will bring in $1 billion in revenue. 61,000 dual motor Cybertrucks will bring in $3 billion in revenue, and 59,000 tri-motor trucks will bring in a further $4.2 billion in revenue. And when you do the math, it comes out to an average selling price of $56,500 and total revenue of $8.2 billion. So while it's anybody's guess as to how many Cybertrucks will be sold annually, let's have a look at some estimates based on certain levels of sales volumes. If Tesla sells 200,000 Cybertrucks annually at an average selling price of $56,500, then we get $11.3 billion in revenue, and if we use a profit margin of 15%, then that will give Tesla a profit of $1.7 billion. Now, if Tesla can sell 500,000 trucks, then we'd be looking at $28 billion in revenue and $4.3 billion in profit. And these are the sales volumes that the Ram trucks and Chevy Silverados are being sold at. And when you compare the Cybertruck to the current pickup trucks on the market, does anyone else think that these trucks instantly look outdated? It's almost like looking at a flip phone after seeing the unveiling of the iPhone. Anyways, if the Cybertruck can be as popular as the Ford F-Series and sell 1 million Cybertrucks annually, then Tesla would be looking at bringing in $86 billion in revenue with $8.5 billion in annual profit. And if you think these numbers are big, then welcome to the world of pickup trucks in the United States. So with all of that said, if you want to sell the Cybertruck at these type of volumes, you first have to make them. And to put these numbers into perspective, here's how many Cybertrucks will need to be manufactured per week at each of these sales volumes. In comparison of Q3 of 2019, Tesla was producing just over 6,000 Model 3s per week. So to match the Ford F-Series, they would need to 3x what they are currently doing with the Model 3, which is by no means going to be easy. The other thing to consider is, where will the Cybertruck be built? Fremont is jam-packed producing the Model S, X and 3 and soon to be the Model Y, which means that Tesla will have to build a Cybertruck the Semi and Roadster at the Gigafactory, or build a new factory altogether, but I don't think that will be the case, and let me tell you why. Tesla will soon host the much anticipated Powertrain Investor Day to detail their plans to massively increase battery production. One thing I'll be listening out for is how much space can be freed up by implementing Maxwell's dry battery electrode process, which could free up significant amounts of space at the Gigafactory. And when I say significant, I mean a 16-time production capacity decrease. So if this is the case, then Tesla can simply expand the Gigafactory to build new vehicle production lines and still have enough space to increase battery production. So to conclude, let me just go back to the poll and give you my opinion on an observation I have with my limited data. Considering that the overwhelming majority like or love the Cybertruck, why is there a perception that the Cybertruck is so polarizing? Well, I think it's because that short sellers are desperately trying to be as loud as possible to make it out that the Cybertruck is a complete flop and to bring down the share price. Considering the rally in Tesla's share price, anyone that has shorted Tesla stock would be sitting on some major losses. And it really shows when you look at message boards. There seems to be some real desperation amongst the short sellers recently that I haven't seen since the funding secured tweet. So while the short sellers are going to have to say that the Cybertruck is bad and replay the broken window, they may just want to consider what will happen if the Cybertruck becomes a top 5 selling truck in the United States. Not to mention what's happening with the Chinese Gigafactory or the Model Y. So that's all I have for today, and thank you to all our Patreons for supporting us. And a heads up, tomorrow we'll be releasing episode 5, the year of 2014 of the Tesla documentary series that will cover more interesting stories, such as a guy in China that bashed his Model S because he was angry that Tesla took too long to deliver it. No joke. Anyways, just a reminder, everything in this video is our opinion only, and if you want to join our community and help us grow, please consider supporting us on Patreon. So till next time, I'll see you guys soon.